I just want to briefly touch on the news we've all been following over the past 24 hours or so and offer a few quick thoughts about this. Needless to say, I'm referring to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has pretty much seemed inevitable over the past couple of weeks. While that inevitability has now become stark reality, and the world is once again experiencing a major war in Europe. Here are 5 quick thoughts of mine, and please feel free to leave yours in the comments below. First, this is certainly good news for Trump. Not only does Russia invading Ukraine make Biden seem weak, or weaker, but Trump gets to sit on the sidelines and proclaim that it would never have happened had he still been president. That's something that can't be proved one way or the other, of course. But these kind of events make Trump's comeback all the more realistic, as many Americans already viewed Biden as weak, even incompetent, and are now even more convinced that Trump needs to make a triumphant return. I talked about this scenario a few months back in the video, "The Rider of the White Horse will be seen as a knight in shining armor." Second, Trump has once again shown his tendency to compliment dictators, calling Putin savvy and a genius. Over the last few years, Trump has not only lauded Putin several times, but has offered sincere compliments to other dictators and controversial leaders all around the world. The Bible speaks of 10 kings in the last days who will give their power to the Antichrist for 1 hour, and I'm starting to lean toward the idea that each of those 10 kings will be exactly the sort of tyrants that Trump has been so fond of complimenting, perhaps even the same ones. Third, if I had 2 words to describe Joe Biden, those 2 words would be Jimmy Carter. President Carter was not only perceived as being weak, mostly because of the Iranian hostage crisis, but was also facing a severe problem with inflation, just as Biden is. Ronald Reagan beat Carter handedly in 1980 as America saw him as the tough, patriotic, no-nonsense alternative to the Carter administration. Ironically, just like Trump, Reagan also had a popular slogan that he threw around quite a bit.
For those who've abandoned hope, we'll restore hope and we'll welcome them into a great national crusade to make America great again.
Fourth, don't be surprised if China now makes a move on Taiwan. With so much of the world, especially the United States, now preoccupied with Russia and Ukraine, China would likely see this as the absolutely perfect time to do exactly what it's wanted to do for many years. And China taking Taiwan is another scenario in which Biden would look weak, even though the U.S. is basically powerless to stop it, short of world war. It's also another opportunity for Trump to proclaim how that would never have happened had he only been president. Fifth, from early on in his presidency, Trump sowed doubt among America's allies as to the reliability of America to defend them. Like in so many things, Trump's personal grievances and desire to be praised were of more importance than working with our allies. Many of those wounds have not fully healed, and I believe that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is the next logical step toward them fracturing completely. It could be the beginning of new alliances all around the world as NATO weakens and perhaps even falls into the dustbin of history. It should be interesting to see how these new alliances form over the coming months and years as a new world order begins to take shape. Who knows, perhaps these new alliances take the shape of the infamous United Nations regional groups, and we end up with 8, 10, or 12 regional leaders all around the world. At that time, of course, the King of North America would be primed to make his move.